Welcome down to ringside for another episode of Fantasy Warfare. This week it's all about viewers' choices, and what a match we're starting off with.
The following contest is a steel cage match. Making her way to the ring from Kentucky, Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth, the First Lady of Professional Wrestling, the longtime manager and real-life wife of the Macho Man Randy Savage. It was in the lead-up to WrestleMania 5 that her partnership with the Macho Man Randy Savage would begin to splinter as the Mega Powers exploded, when Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan could no longer team together over Hogan's lust in his eyes for Elizabeth. And it was in the wake of the explosion of the Mega Powers after WrestleMania 5 that the Macho Man Randy Savage would unveil a new manager, our next participant in this cage match.
And from Birmingham, Alabama, Sherri.
There you see sensational Queen Sherri making her way to the ring. She would become the next manager of the Macho Man Randy Savage after WrestleMania 5. And when the Macho Man Randy Savage would win the King's Crown of the World Wrestling Federation, he would become the Macho King, and she would become the Sensational Queen, and they would reign over the WWF Kingdom until WrestleMania 7, when the Macho Man Randy Savage would have his career ended temporarily at the hands of the Ultimate Warrior. And it was after the match, when Sensational Sherri felt that her meal ticket had disappeared, that she turned on the Macho Man Randy Savage, and it was Miss Elizabeth who came running from the stands at the LA Memorial Sports Stadium, to run to the aid of the Macho Man Randy Savage. And of course, one always wondered what would happen if Liz and Sherri ever stepped foot into the ring to go to battle with each other. And we are finding out the answers to that here today on Fantasy Warfare. One of 5 viewers' choice matches here this week, as we noted at the top of the show. One of our matches this week is not a viewer's choice. It is a feud that has been going on since our 6th episode of Fantasy Warfare. These two men have brawled all over the place at every single Fantasy Warfare event. Last week we finally had cameras catching up with it. Roman Reigns and Kenny Omega will meet in tonight's main event in an Extreme Rules match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. But what a way to start things off this week here on Fantasy Warfare with a steel cage match, the old classic blue. Who's going to walk away here? Which manager of the Macho Man Randy Savage will walk away with the bragging rights of being the better of the two? Of course, Sensational Sherri has lengthy history in the ring as an active competitor, a former AWA and WWF Women's Champion. Miss Elizabeth, as you can tell, she's in her evening gown. She's not quite a regular competitor in the world of professional wrestling. So it'll be interesting to see how she fares here, especially where she's working in heels. Oh, big time elbow drop by Sensational Sherri off the top rope on Miss Elizabeth. Elizabeth backing Sherri off with an elbow. Oh, nice suplex into a knee and then a springboard moonsault. I guess Liz has been getting some training, maybe. Maybe old Miss Elizabeth got some training leading into this steel cage match with Sensational Sherri, because she's impressive right here. 100% impressive, as she is now picking away at the body of Sensational Sherri. Stomping. Wow, what a spot to stomp with heels, let me tell you. That's a spot to stomp, and now Liz going back to ripping out the arm of Sensational Sherri. Who knew that Miss Elizabeth was quite the technician? Almost looks like something out of the playbook of Alexa Bliss. Maybe they hit the Fantasy Warfare Workout Center together. Well, As they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because Liz keeps going back to the well on that one. But it's working. Sherri's not countering it. Sherri is in a bad way. Liz continues to just beat on the arm and the back. And now we've got a Cobra clutch crossface by Miss Elizabeth on Sensational Sherri. The Queen, though, is able to throw some elbows, breaks herself free of that hold. That was surprisingly put on at the hands of Miss Elizabeth. Now, something interesting of note in this particular cage match, as you've heard this commentator complain about, I hate the escape. So in Fantasy Warfare, we have removed the escape rule from the classic steel cage match. Anytime you see old Big Blue, it's pinfalls and submissions only. Snap suplex by Sherri takes Miss Elizabeth down. We've got 5 other matches, as we noted this week. Coming up next will be the first rematch in Fantasy Warfare history, a ladder match, just as the first time these two met. It will be Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins for the WWF Winged Eagle Championship. Prior to Fantasy Warfare being full-length episodes, Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins met in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Here today, it's the first rematch in the history of Fantasy Warfare as requested by the viewers. Oh, nice punch there by Liz. We got a cover, and that's all we get is a cover, not a 3 count, because Sensational Sherri kicks out. Sherri hits the ropes. Ooh, nice shot to the side of the head, kicking Liz right in the face. Sherri now, ooh, she gets the legs swept out from underneath her. Liz stomps on the arm again. Miss Elizabeth has been very smart about sticking to the exact same spots, going back to the well time and time again, but it's been effective. And she just nailed a Kinshasa out of absolutely nowhere on Sensational Sherri. And that's all she wrote, as Miss Elizabeth picks up the victory here in this steel cage match to kick things off here this week in the first of our 4 Viewers' Choice episodes. What a way to start things off as we take a look back at some of the highlights of this one. But the action this week is going to continue on as we will take a quick pause, and then we will be back with our first rematch in Fantasy Warfare history. It's Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins in a ladder match, and it's coming up next.